Okay. Thing with Diva is a very difficult hero to play properly because Diva has a lot of things to think about. She has peeling to think about. She has pressure to think about. She has matrix to think about, positioning. But really the big three things are peeling, pressure, and positioning. Okay? Some juicy alliteration for you guys. Okay? And here, let's talk about each one of these things, okay? So, with Diva, everybody thinks of Diva as like the peel bot. Oh, she's so good at peeling. She's so good at peeling. She's so good at peeling. And then you go, okay, where does that peeling come from? Well, you can boop enemies if they try and go in on you. But mostly it's around your matrix, right? Your ability to eat projectiles and damage and cooldowns that might be otherwise threatening your backline. Now, that could be on your backline, but it can also be on your front line. And so revolves around matrix. And like I guess to a lesser extent your boot, but really like okay, let's say the enemy team, like we look at it right now, your Ryan goes in and goes to swing on the enemy Ryan, and he gets like let's say flashbanged or something like that, and then he's like, oh, it's taking damage, right? You can peel for him by matrixing him, and that means that when he's flashbanged, that he's not eating, you know, Biotic Grenade or Zarya right clicks or McCree damage or Junkrat spam, you know, whatever, right? So peeling is just basically the concept of I'm going to absorb damage and reduce the damage that you're taking, right? And prevent you from dying by peeling for you. And it doesn't just have to be backline, right? Focusing only on backline as Diva puts you in a really small box because obviously in this circumstance, who is threatening your backline? Maybe if McCree flanks or something like that, but nobody's really threatening your backline. So you peel based off of need. Who needs it? What is the enemy team running? Where are they positioned right now? Okay. Then there's pressure. Now pressure is the thing that separates the good divas from the great divas. Okay, because peeling is what everybody thinks about, but it's not just peeling. It also has to be pressure, and pressure is simply the amount of damage that you do, which forces attention. Okay, so in other words, if I were to be playing Diva here, okay? And all I was thinking about was just shooting the enemy's shield, right? And trying to eat flashbang, okay? Like that's all I was thinking about. I'm not gonna let my Ryan get flashbang, but I'm gonna shoot shield and eat flashbang and peel for my Ryan, right? Would I, as Diva, win versus a Ryan Zarya? So is a Ryan Zarya versus a Ryan Diva both with, let's say, equal amount of healing? Who's going to win that if both teams are just shooting shield and all I'm focusing on is matrixing, like, let's say, Zarya right clicks or McCree flashbang? Who's going to win that? What do you guys think? Hey, Zanzibar. This is a very important question. It's going to be Zarya. Right. It's going to be Zarya. Okay? Zarya's going to win, 100%. Every single time, Zarya's going to win, right? Because she just does more damage. Like, sure, you can eat a couple of cooldowns, so you could peel a little bit, but that's not a lot. You're not helping your Ryan out a lot there, right? You're going to lose in shield damage. You're going to lose in like actual killing threat. The cooldowns that you eat aren't going to make up for the damage that you lose by playing Diva. So why do people play Diva then? Besides, oh, it can eat an ultimate, or, you know, you can stop if the enemy team is running down. Well, why do you play Diva? Why do you play Diva? Well, the reason that you still play Diva, and the reason like people were playing Ryan, Kree, Mei, Diva in Overwatch League was because Diva can put pressure that Zarya cannot. Because, for example, we'll actually just dial it back a little bit so you guys can see this. Let's say Ryan is holding this corner right here, and you are positioned up here on this high ground here, and the enemy team goes to engage on your Ryan. They're shooting your Ryan shield, and they're blasting your Ryan, right? And they're smashing and bashing, right? And maybe you'll eat flashbang or whatever, but like they're really putting pressure on your Ryan. Well, look at what the enemy team is running. What would happen if you boosted right here and used your micro missiles, your primary fire, and started sandblasting the McCree and the Ana from above their head? There's the pressure. You see that? Do you see how obnoxious and scary that would be for the backline? What if the Ryan pushed and you didn't even shoot the backline? You shot the Ryan in the back, right? Now all of a sudden you're not shooting shield anymore. You're actually shooting the Reinhardt himself. right? You're actually shooting the right himself. What is he supposed to do? So then the question comes down to, okay, so you're sandblasting the enemy team, right? So what is the enemy team going to do? They're either going to, one, ignore you, and somebody's going to die, right? Or you're going to, right? Eventually, even if you don't kill them by yourself, you're putting a ton of damage to the backline. So your enemy, your Rhine fire strikes and that gets a pick, or your Ash lands a dynamite and gets a pick based off your damage, right? Either they ignore you and you get a butt ton of damage done and a butt ton of pressure, or what? Or what do they do instead? They either ignore you or they what? Ignore you or they pressure you out. Now that's a good answer, right? They either ignore you, in which case you just annihilate them, or they pressure you out. Now stop. When they pressure you out, the Rhines are trading right here, and they stop shooting your Rhine to shoot you. What does that mean for your Rhine? What does that mean for your Rhine? If the McCree stops shooting your Rhine, and the Ana stops healing her Rhine, and they turn to shoot you instead, just these two, what does that mean for your Rhine? Just focus on your Rhine. Now your Rhine is under a lot less pressure. Hey, they have a Zarya, but their McCree is not helping. Their McCree is not shooting, and our McCree is. Right? Their Ana is not healing, and our Ana is. So you basically make it a 5 versus 4, or 5 versus 3 for a period of time. And the thing with Diva is because you have so much HP and armor, and you have boosters, you could, on such a low cooldown, which even now it's 4 seconds is still very low, you can booster in, put a lot of pressure, matrix yourself, and then fly out again. And you're totally fine. You've had a little bit of ult charge, that's okay. Your supports will get that ult charge. You took a ton of pressure off of your Rhine, and you did it by not just standing there and shooting Rhine shield. You have, exactly, Baggins, you have actually peeled for your Rhine by not shooting shield or matrixing cooldowns at all. All you did was stand in an angle and shoot the enemy team. And you pulled all this attention to yourself. Now we get to the last part, okay? So the timing of the pressure has to be good. You have to be timing your pressure for when the enemy team is actually engaging. Because if you just stand here early, as they're pushing, as they're getting through choke, and you start shooting them, what are they going to do? They're not going to push through choke. They're just going to sit there and shoot you, make you fly away, and then they're going to push, and then you're going to be screwed, right? So you got to time your pressure really well, right? But timing of pressure is really important as Diva. It could be inting it. The Ana uses all your cooldowns on your Rhine, and so you just go and kill the Ana for using all her cooldowns. Or, the McCree is mispositioned and you threaten the McCree a lot. And McCree's like, help me, help me, help me, help me, help me. And everybody stops what they're doing to help the McCree, which means that your Rhine is under no pressure at all, right? Or it could just simply be in the Rhine versus Rhine trade. You're shooting from an angle, putting a lot of heavy pressure in the back line or even the back of the Rhine. Now, the last thing is positioning. So we talked about peel, which could be you eating cooldowns. We talked about pressure. We talked about positioning. And we're going to talk about how positioning actually relates to both pressure and peel, okay? It relates to both pressure and peel. It's not just, okay, positioning is its own thing. No, it directly ties into how you peel. Because here's the thing, chat. We'll focus actually on the pressure part first, okay? If I am positioned directly behind my Rhine shield, right, as a Diva, and we're fighting, how much pressure am I actually doing right now? Who am I pressuring? Am I being efficient with my pressure? No, I'm not. Am I? I'm not. Diva's just not great at that, right? She does okay shield damage, but she's not great. You're just pressuring shield, right? You're not drawing a lot of attention. The Rhine shield might break slightly faster, but that's not very efficient, right? It would be like a Junkrat playing a Junkrat on I don't know, Junkertown, ironically, on first point versus a Widowmaker. You can play both well, but one is going to be efficient, one is not going to be efficient, right? Diva can break shield, but it's not very efficient. So how much pressure could you be if you position yourself here, right? We kind of talked about this already. Where are you putting more pressure? Directly behind your Rhine shield or at a slide off angle? Shooting backline or shooting the Rhine in the back? Here, right? So you notice how the amount of pressure you put isn't just you thinking, I'm going to pressure, but you actually being in the right position to do pressure. Right? Okay? So you need to put yourself in an off angle when the enemy team engages. Where the enemy team engages, to where you can actively put good pressure on and not just passively shoot shield. Okay? Now, what about peel? Now this one will blow your minds, ladies and gentlemen. This one will blow your minds, okay? The best spot to peel for your Rhine, and by peel for your Rhine, I don't just mean pressuring backline. I mean actively, leave me alone.
Ow.
Oh no, what happened?
Solid.
Oh, that's because it's my headphones.
Okay.
The best way to peel for your Rhine, and I mean eating cooldowns, matrixing damage, is not behind your Rhine. It is at an off angle. Why? So right here, if you're Diva here in the blue square, and Diva in the yellow square, why does the Diva in the yellow square actually do a better job eating cooldowns and matrixing damage for her Rhine than the Diva in the blue square? Why? Has nothing to do with the attention that you're drawing or the pressure you're giving. That's a separate issue. That's the separate benefit. But why does the yellow Diva do a better job actually eating stuff? You can use more area of the DM, sure. Okay, you can get better, but there's something more important than that. Yes, recently got it. You can see. You can simply see it better. Now they're in a choke anyway. If you're here or here, they're still in the choke. But when you're at an off angle, you can actually see what you want to eat. You can put the matrix directly on the Kree or junk. You can see the animation of the flashbang or the animation of the sleep or the animation of the nade better. You can see everything so much better when you're actually on an angle. So not only do you put more pressure, you can actually see when you need the matrix to peel for your Rhine significantly better. Thank you. And that goes not just for peeling for your Rhine, that goes for peeling for your backline. You can see, oh no, here comes the Genji. He's trying to hide, right? Or here comes a Tracer, right? Or there's the Widow. She's like sitting here and she's going to try and snipe it, but I'm not going to stand here. I'm going to get her at an angle here and catch her. When you're at a different spot, it is easier to see because the enemy team is either trying to sneak up on them, right? Or it's just simply less visual clutter. Right. Now this is extremely important. So you want to position yourself in a location where you can pressure from an off angle, where you can also peel easier because you can simply see what you need to peel that much better. Now, obviously, the timing of your pressure is important, right? And where you're positioning yourself so you don't eat a lot of damage early. Like if you're one of those divas that just stands aggressively in front of your Rhine, it doesn't matter if you're in an off angle or not. You're just gonna die. You're gonna feed ult charge. You're gonna die. But it's very important. Very important. All right. So now that we've kind of basically set the stage here, right? Nothing harasses your Ashe. Nothing harasses your Rhine. That's your job here. Your job is to position yourself at an off angle and basically say, you know what? I know if we just stand AFK and shoot at each other, the composition with the Ashe and the Diva is going to lose versus the Junkrat and the Zarya. They just simply have more spam damage. But you can get picks and you could put pressure by actively being in a better position. Okay. Does that kind of make sense, chat, so far? This is complex stuff. This is Overwatch League level concept. This is not plat stuff. This is not even Masters or GM stuff. This is Overwatch League stuff. So this is going to be tricky. So right now, a little bit of scouting here right now, but can find stay here, chat. You guys are learning with me. Can you guys stay here right now? Can Fine stay where he is right now? Most likely. No. Why? We literally just went and said that he wanted to be here, right? But why can't he be here now? It's too early, right? This is a 1v6 or a 2v6 if you ask. Your Rhine can't do anything, right? So this is okay to get a little bit of scouting in. You know for sure what they're running, but you can't stay here. Right. By the way, if I don't answer all the questions, I apologize. If I missed your question, just re-ask it because I'm Not even catching. With the off angles versus Sigma, Sigma off angles is oriented towards more damage versus Diva, who got the add-on appealing. Is that correct? Yes, that is correct. Sigma is significantly better at utilizing off angles, but the difference between Sigma and Diva is Sigma is more oriented on damage, like you said. Diva is more oriented on using off angles for damage, but also able to peel stuff. And the difference between Sigma and Diva is Diva can constantly change her angles. So if the fight location moves, Sigma is slow. Diva is not. Diva can go, oh, that's where you guys are going to go. I'm going to off angle there. Where Sigma's like, oh, you're going to off angle over there? Crud. I got to walk all the way over there or float all the way over there. So yeah, but if there isn't a lot of movement, Sigma is just so much better than offing in terms of just raw damage. That's why when you saw the Lucio ban this week in Overwatch League, you saw the return of Sigma because comp teams are moved, because everything is slowed down a little bit, off angles are way stronger, and so Sigma is stronger again. Would the Diva and Ashe have single off angle positioning? Yeah, but you don't need to like match up, really. I mean, Ashe definitely needs to off angle versus this composition because straightforward, she's just going to lose to a Junkrat. Whereas in the side, she can land big dynamites, get headshots, get picks and stuff like that. But they don't have to match up. They can just kind of play how they want. Okay, so a lot of Matrix. You need to get yourself on an off angle. This is concerning, right? So what I want you to do right now is your Ryan is engaging. So you need to get off angle pressure. You need to boost her up to here, and you need to shoot. Right? Number one, so you can actually put pressure from an angle. Number two, so you can see what you need to matrix. Because obviously you're scared of flashbang, conk, sleep dart, biotic grenade, and you can't see any of that from here. So you're just kind of randomly matrixing. You see that? You're just randomly matrixing, right? You don't really know when you should be matrixing, you're just guessing. And you don't want to do that. You see how cluttered this is? You can't see anything. This is good. And also, by the way, also this is good too. We talked a little bit about Diva and Ashe, but like, let's say this. Let's say your Ashe is going for an off angle up here, Junkrat conks up here and just kills her, right? But if you stay here, they can't just send one person up here to bully your Ashe out. You can actually kind of hold the space for your Ashe. So you can help your Ashe be in the space. This is good. Be very cautious though. Unfortunate. Ashe was a little Leo aggressively positioned here. I would much rather prefer your Ashe to be in the further back high ground. Korean. I think the Korean voice actors are really good. Korean voice acting is like the only other type of Overwatch voice acting that I think is decent. I haven't heard every language to be fair, but this is okay. You know, you don't want to get poked out early, so you're playing very passive, and then you can retake the angle later. Okay, this is good. Again, why do we need to keep backing off, chat? Why is this person not... Why are they not here? Why are they not shooting the enemy team right now? Why are they not... Like, why do they back off? Hello? Play. Why does this Diva back off right here? Why aren't you hard holding this location? Again, focus. Ryan is backing. Exactly. You can't hard hold here, right? You want to act like your main tank kind of decides where the fight happens, right? It doesn't matter if he's on Orisa, Ball, Ryan, Winston, anywhere. Your main tank, when he engages, that's when we go. Okay? So that's when you establish your off angle. Right now, you get a little spam damage, but yeah, you don't want to hard hold here. So right now, you could probably guarantee that right now, booster to high ground. Right now. High noon. Okay, that was fine. Now get back to high ground. Get back to high ground quickly. Or either you go back to high ground and control an off angle, or you beat the crap out of this idiot. One of these. Either you basically screw them for using an off angle on you, which you're really good at 1v1ing, folks, or you go and establish high ground. Either one of these is going to be immensely helpful for your rank, because you're either going to take a lot of heat from the backline, or you're going to kill this Junkrat. You choose. Very good. Now go win this 1v1. Go get him. Nice. Okay, that was fine. Okay, so earlier, basically, your off angle wasn't good from the very... So this right here was the worst thing that you've done. This is unacceptable. Your right is initiating. You need to be immediately boosting the off angle. And by the way, chat, why does he need to be here and not here? Very easy question, but just to make sure that concept's understood before we move on. Why on the left side, not the right side? Can I get value from Matrix to bomb of junk? Yes. Why is the high ground useful here? Obviously, yes, the left side is a little bit more accessible to the back line, so that was kind of a bad example because left is just better from any perspective. But why is the high ground useful? Let's put it that way. You can see more, yes, but it's also harder for them to pressure you out. You don't take Ryan swings. You don't take Zarya. It's harder for Zarya to beam you. It's harder for them to reach you. It's harder for them to actually damage you. That's kind of what you're looking for. Okay, so your Ashe gets picked. I thought, honestly, outside of that first little bit, you played it relatively well. You canceled your boosters there because of the high noon. You did a good job eating that. You did deal with the Junkrat. Mechanically, could have been executed a little bit better. I'm not looking at your micro missile use right now. That is something that I tend to look at, but I think as of right now, I'm not putting a lot of emphasis on it. Okay. Okay. This is an excellent, absolutely exceptional point for Diva angles. And you can see it here. If you guys want to close hold, you can play here. If you want to play back on early on the point, you can play at this high ground. If you guys play all the way back to point, you can utilize the angles all around point. Very, very strong. Okay, so you can see, punish anything. Now, hopefully you track that they have grav. Okay. Okay, so this is messy. Okay, so this is really messy. Now, what I don't want you doing here is I don't want you playing in a spot. You need this? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. You don't want to be playing. You don't want to be playing in a spot where you get your defense matrix forced a ton before the fight starts. So remember we talked earlier about how we could do a little bit of scouting, a little bit of spam damage, and then back out? Yeah, that's fine. But look at what happens here. You get a little bit of spam, you panic, and look what happens. Almost your entire DM right as the fight is starting. You really, really, really don't want that to happen. You really don't want that to happen. So what would you do instead? Well, let's think. What about doing this, but just a little bit closer to cover, right? Just a little bit closer to cover. Just a little bit further back so you don't get chunked so much, right? Because right now, that's a lot of matrix. That's a lot of matrix just used for basically meaningless damage, right? Not good. And right now, where do I want you? Chat, where do I want him right now? The engagement is starting. Where do I want Fine to be? Also, 420 HP. That's a rip, man. I really want that to be 500 plus. Where? Right here, right? Go back. Fight starting. Go back. I do replay codes. Yeah, sure. Yeah, 420. Ha ha ha. Go back. Go back. You're letting the Zarya beam you by being in low ground. And where do you go to? Where does your escape path go to? Behind your line. And you get demeched. Ah! Okay. That is a saddening prospect there. Way too much open positioning. You get chunked, and then instead of flying away to high ground, you stay in the low ground, and then you're slow to matrix again. Ah, that's just really, really sloppy. That's really sloppy. Play closer to the cover and save more of your resources for when they actually engage. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. That is nigh unacceptable. That's really poor. Really poor. You got chunked took way too much damage before the fight started because you were greedy on your angle, and then you were a coward and completely abandoned the off angle instead of retaking it. Terrible.
1 year down.
Hello, Cody. Why not right hand side high ground? I don't know. You tell me. Why would I say that this is probably not as strong as this side?
Live review my Hanzo gameplay or I'm telling your mom.
Okay, Sin. Okay. You know what? You know what my mom would do? She'd bend you over backwards, RKO to nowhere, and send your sorry corpse into the dumpster. Guarantee you. Because Ryan is on that side. Okay, so why do we not want our Diva on the same side as our Ryan? Even though it's on high ground. The annoying moving platform. Yeah, that is actually something else too. Yeah. Because we want to off-angle. Right. Now, this is a better off-angle because if they push your Rhine, it is easier for you to shoot them in the back, and it is easy for you to see. Whereas if you stand above your Rhine, yes, you have a slight off-angle because it is high ground, but the Rhine can shield you, and he can shield whatever's standing behind the Rhine, and it's harder for you to see because you have the visual clutter of the Rhine in front of you, right? You're not pulling attention away from the Rhine, you're pulling it this direction regardless of whether it's you or the Reinhardt. You want to be able to shoot people in the back. You want to make people look away from the Reinhardt, not look like this. This is okay, but this is better. This and this is best of all. So not just to the side, but to the side and up. Yep. Dirty less than 1 year things. Yeah. Then she'd dab. Yes, she would dab. That is what she would do. Isn't it usually harder to be forced out? I don't understand your question. So do you understand how the opposite side of your Rhine gets you more value from the off angle, right? You being forced out of the off angle isn't a concern if you're timing your off angle properly. So like, let's go look back and go this way. I want this concept to be understood. This is the fundamentals of Diva right here. So you're saying if I was on right side high ground, maybe I don't get forced out as early. Well, I would disagree because honestly, you got spammed out anyway. But even if that were so, it wouldn't matter because the point being is that Fine should just sit right now and not do anything. Just chill. Just do some spam damage. You shouldn't be cleared out from an off angle unless your timing is wrong. That's a general rule, not the 100% rule. So like, let's say Fine wants to play this angle here, but he's playing closer to corner, closer to cover. He doesn't take any damage. He stays on the high ground instead of dropping off the high ground. Then the enemy Rhine engages right now. Now we peek out from the off angle and we start doing a lot of heavy damage. If they try and clear you out from the off angle, they're dead. Because your Ashe and your Rhine and everybody's going to be free, right? If they all focus you and somehow demech you, even though that's basically impossible because you have high ground and boosters, you could just booster away, they're going to be punished for it because they all have to look at you completely away from who is actually dangerous to them. So it's not a question of can they clear you out of high ground. Yes, they can clear you out of high ground, but at what cost? That's the question. And you will make it very expensive with Diva's HP, boosters, cooldown, and matrix. Instead, you took so much damage, it was very easy for them to clear, because right now, what is your team doing right now? Maybe your Ashe is doing a little bit of damage. Maybe your McCree is doing a little bit of damage. But nobody in the enemy team is doing anything, or nobody in your team is really doing anything right now. This is poke stage. The fight hasn't actually started right now, right? So you get cleared out for free. It is very easy for them to clear out, and you're doing it. You're just like, hey guys, just kill me. Go ahead and kill me right now. Kill me right now. In fact, the fight that you get demech, the fight starts now, and you're already half HP. Now, right now, they're still focusing you, and you die. So right now, this is expensive for them to focus you down now, but it's worth it because you're already half HP. It's like saying, hi, I'm going to buy this house for you, but I'm going to pay half of the cost for you. So yeah, they did spend money on it, yes. But you gave them half of the cash for free, for nothing. Right now, if they want to focus you down, you should be at 450 HP, not 130, right? If they're going to focus you down and burn you down, it should be more expensive. But you started the fight at half HP because your timing was bad. If Diva gets spammed out, just back up. If Diva got spammed out back here, go back to your supports. Find another safer off angle. Hide. Doesn't matter. When watching Al games, I've been seeing teams split to attack an objective. I assume this is a pre-planned play. Yes. What should the split be? Tank and support. Additionally, this is the same principle you mentioned about taking off angle. Yes, it is. Okay, the reason why, like how you split is extremely advanced and it is very compositional dependent. So I don't want to get into that. Generally, having like one tank on one side and another tank on another is good because you have like two tanky defensive heroes that are split up and not just squishies all on one side. But it depends. It depends on the situation. There's no hard rule about it. In terms of why teams retake, for example, like let's say you were trying to push this choke right here in Volsky, and let's say the enemy team was holding very close, right? With the Reinhardt up here and the Diva up here, and let's say there was a Hanzo in the flank here, right? As you walk through this choke, you're going to die because the Diva's going to off-angle shoot you, the Ryan's going to cleave swing in you, and then the Hanzo's going to shoot everybody in the back. You can't deal with all the angles at once. So what do? You cut down on the angles. What you do is you push and you either clear out the high ground or you clear out the angle first. So you push people up here, right? But what is Ryan and Hanzo going to do about that? They can't do anything about that. So they just sit and watch. Or let's say you're running like a dive comp, or not a dive comp, you're running something like with a Diva of your own. Your Ryan pushes, right? And your own Hanzo and Diva climb the high ground and start shooting the Diva at the same time. And what that does is they go, oh shoot, Diva's out of here. This Diva, your Diva has to peace out. Your Diva has to fly away, right? And this cuts down on the damage that the Ryan takes because the off angle that we would be shooting him in the back is cleared out at the same time. Another example. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? I think I might have done a hotkey. No, we're good. Okay. I think I hit the wrong hotkey.
How many VODs
I'm not sure,
are you
like,
reviewing today?
Let's say there's a choke here, okay? There's a choke here, okay? This is a choke that you have to push through, and then there's another choke over here, like this is a back choke here. If you as the attacking team path is 6 through here, a good enemy team will have every flank and angle available on you, and you will get shot from a million different spots at once, and you're dead. So what do you do to counter that? Oh, thank you. Is you send somebody from this off angle. And what does this do? Obviously, this means that you have a little bit less defensive capabilities on this side, but you more than make up for that by forcing these little scumbags turn around and deal with you. Oh no, this guy's shooting me in the back. Oh no, right? And what do these little rats do? They scurry away, right? And it is infinitely better to cut down on the number of off angles that your tank or your team will deal with than it is to just all clump up as a ball. You see what I'm saying? If there's a Sigma here with a Hanzo and they start shooting these guys right here, these guys have to run away and they're not shooting your Ryan in the back. Very important. This applies to Zarya as well. Yeah. I mean, honestly, Diva is better than Zarya in off angle, but anytime... So let's put it this way. In Goats versus Goats mirrors, even though it was like the brawliest comp available, it eventually started boiling down to off angles. Any composition, dive, brawl, spam, boils down to off angles in the mirror. In the mirror. Anyway. Whenever somebody's asking me, how do I deal with not tunneling? How do I deal with not focusing? How do I deal with, like, I'm always distracted. I'm supposed to be working on something, but I can never remember to do it. Okay. The big thing is that, first off, like, I understand the thing. Like, what I'll do is I'll be like, all right, I need to work on my posture. So what am I going to do? I'm going to focus on sitting up tall when I'm doing. But you get like 5-10 minutes into it and you've already forgotten how to do it, right? And it sucks. Like, I get you. Like, I understand exactly what you're talking about. However, what you need to do if you're really serious about this is you need to get your phone. Somebody in chat recommended an app. Yeah, and here's the app, okay? It is interval timer something or another. One of you lovely people in chat did this for me. Interval timer something or another, right? What is the app called? Interval timer, what is it? Do you remember who it is? Anyway, it's an interval timer, basically. And you have it go off like every 60 seconds, every 2 minutes, again and again and again and again. And for something that's like listening to your team, you probably don't need to do it every 60 seconds, but like every 5 minutes or so would probably be fine. And every time it goes off, oh, yep, I gotta listen. Oh, yep, I gotta listen. And so any of you in chat, if you're actually like really struggling to keep track of like your positioning or whatever you're focusing on, that's how to do it. Like, it's obnoxious as heck, but like, you know what? Like, how badly do you really want to get good at that? Say Diva's an off angle in the beginning. Should she be hiding in the beginning of the fight to get better timing instead of being a target piece right now? Well, you could do one of two things. Like, you can either do nothing and hide in the off angle, or you can actually you can stand behind your Ryan to start. You could be that passive, terrible Diva standing behind your Ryan to start, and then once the fight actually starts, then you can go to the off angle, right? So like, think about like we'll start. We're gonna actually kick back in. So like, let's say you want to start right here, Stand behind your Rhine, shoot, 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 shoot. They push forward, you boost her up to high ground, and then you start shooting them in the back. So that way you're doing something, right, in the meantime, and not getting poked out, right? Or taking very low poke damage. Does that make sense? Yeah, you're just using the timer to avoid autopiloting. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you took your angle too early, you got cleared out, and then you went back to your Rhine instead of reaffirming your off angle. Okay, let's continue. I also have this. Okay, chat. Delicious lunch. Delicious. Oh my gosh, I've got bacon, burgers, and guacamole. Oh, hurts my stomach not like eating. All right, I'm gonna eat a tomato slice. Ah.
Who cooked that for you?
What?
Who cooked that for you?
What?
Who cooked that for you?
Oh yeah.
Sing my praises.
This delicious food was cooked by Beth. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second so I can eat some. Okay, we're already back. Look, do you see the problem with this, chat? This is what I'm talking about. Like, you're nanoing your Rhine. Who is everybody in God's lovely green earth looking at right now? Your Rhine! What are they not looking at? You! What does that mean for you? You could fly up here and int the back line. Diva's on me, Diva's on me, why isn't nobody helping me? Well, there's a nano Rhine in front of us, I can't heal you, can't heal. Right? You remember that sound familiar? Okay? Create that dilemma for them. If they're going in with a nano Reinhardt, that's even more important to establish the off angle. Not even to peel necessarily, but for you. You go get the kill. You kill everybody by yourself. They're not even looking at you. So passive, man. You're right. Like what if they like concussive mind your Rhine back or slept your Rhine and you had no opportunity, you actually didn't get anything out of the nano Rhine. That would just be a terrible tragedy. There's your off angle. Use it. Especially when your team is engaging or the enemy team is engaging. Please. Neo says hi, Pepper. Pepper says hi. I'm muting myself again. That's not an off angle. You were passive with your Rhine. This is fine. And there's the belt. There's the Rhine. Go to the high ground. But you boost her away. And really though, like also taking this much damage from Azari is also unacceptable. Like play back up a little bit more and then go to the high ground aggressively. Please, please. I mean, you couldn't see anything. You couldn't do anything. You didn't eat anything. You couldn't help anybody in the 1v1s or anything. You're sitting behind your Rhine with no vision of anything, getting bullied out immediately, and just feeding your brains out. Congratulations, you are a waste of space. Do you try and eat the Fire Strike or not? Yeah, you can. I mean, eating Fire Strike is definitely not a priority for Diva. It is something that she can do and something that is certainly useful. Like let's say if you're before the off angle starts, like let's say you're like in this stage. Remember we talked about this like early here? Like before the fight actually starts, there's the Fire Strike right there. Yeah, sure, eat the Fire Strike. You're standing behind your Rhine anyway. Might as well take prevent a little bit of the choke, poke damage from going in. Sure. Just as like, but I don't really like if you are on that off angle, I would not prioritize eating Fire Strikes. I would prioritize instead like in that situation, if the fight is starting and you're on the off angle, mashing 2 seconds of Matrix on the McCree and Ana that are standing below you is way more valuable than trying to eat a Fire Strike. Because even if you don't actually get a cooldown there, you just shut down their healing and their high damage output for 2 seconds. That's a lot of value. But yeah, you just didn't do anything, man. Like you're sitting behind your Rein, you're getting bullied anyway, and you're not doing any damage, you're not eating any cooldowns, and you can't see squat. Like this is a visually confusing game if you're standing behind a Rein. Let's not start with this, please. Yes. Yes, this is Masters. Just remember that you guys aren't Masters, so just think long and hard about that. Off-angle, 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 off-angle. Nice. Little late, but you had the right idea. All right, back to eating. What was that? It's like a slapstick comedy routine. Yoink! You want a body block for him or no? Okay, we're not gonna body block. We're gonna get stuck in a tree, get our boosters canceled, and get demech. You trash can. What's the problem, chat? What's the problem? And why is it especially egregious right now? What's happening? Yeah, there's no high ground. And right, the nano is being used. Like, there's so much pressure being applied here. Why aren't you punished? Like, I guarantee you... What are you doing? What is that? Is that Will? Oh my gosh. Okay. I got a video from my brother of Typho in chat. Okay, anyway. Like, there's so much pressure being put forward here, right? Why aren't you abusing this by going for a really greedy angle? Nobody's going to look at you. And if they do, then your Rhines are going to run them over. You're not helping your Rhine very much here. You're not. You're not. You're never going to break this choke. They're just spamming this choke. You got to help them break the choke by pulling the tension away from the choke, right? You punish chokes by when the enemy team pushes through them, you have to split their attention. And you break chokes by the enemies that are going to smash you on the choke by not letting them smash them on the choke by making them look away, right? It's like a big man with a sledgehammer, right? And the mouse is going to walk through that hole and it's going to go slam and smash it to bits. A little bit violent, sorry. But instead, another mouse comes out of another hole and bites him in the ankle and he's like, ah, right? And right at that moment, the mouse that he's waiting to smash comes out of the hole, right? And he can't swing the hammer. Right? He's pulled his attention away from the choke that he wants to stuff. They want to stuff this choke. If you come up here when you've got a Nano Rhine going in, and you start shooting this Mercy, or this Ana, or this McCree, or Junk, and start inting, like even booster in and booster back out again, there's no damage being put in the choke at all. Hardly at all. Right? You just it's like a baby's bottom in this choke. Soft. That's so creepy. Anyway. That's saying though, right? Babies. You're just not helping your Rhine at all. You're not doing any damage. You're not eating anything worth of relevance because you can't see anything. Yeah. Yeah. You're just not doing anything. Look at how by the way, look at how you guys break this choke. This is how you break it right here. Hard flank. That's how you break it. And what does he do? He trades. He dies, but he pulls a lot of attention and it lets your Ashe set up a nice Bob, who is, coincidentally, also off-angling. What is the Rhine supposed to do against this Bob? What is he supposed to do? What is he supposed to do? You got carried so hard by your DPS there. And now we have testicles. Very nice. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, if Anna's looking at it, she's not looking at you right, exactly. Alright, we're gonna watch a little more. I'm gonna eat some more of my burger. I mean, that's fine. Like, you see a DPS isolated, you don't let the DPS do anything. Yeah, you fed some ult charge. No, you didn't get the kill, but Junkrat can't clutch. You just basically stuffed him. You just said, nah, you might do a lot of damage to me, but we're not going to kill anybody. Sure. Yep, fine. I mean, again, not particularly well executed, but like at least you're just doing the bare minimum. Sure. Get her. Get her, 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 get her. Yeah, you know she doesn't have grab. What are you doing? Okay. The bomb was okay. Bomb was okay. He did control something of an off angle. I would really recommend shooting the ball. Having some hit scan on ball is always useful. Okay. Alright. So, your off angle control is terrible. Your timing is terrible. Your cooldown usage is also not great, but I would much rather prefer you work on the macro and then get the micro. Like, you have to have a solid foundation, right? It's like, oh, I gotta eat organic stuff, but you're eating, like, organic ice cream and organic, like organic crackers and cheese and cookies and, like, organic soda all day long. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's organic if all you're eating is crap anyway. Start by eating decent, and then you can start looking into what's actually worth the organic and not, right? What you're doing is, I don't want to put emphasis on your cooldowns. I don't want to talk or think about anything else. I want to focus on your positioning and how you're playing the hero as a whole, which is incorrect. You're staying very passively behind your line. You're not looking for off angles, and when you do look for off angles, they're often very, very late or very early, and you're getting cleared early. Work on your off angle use, work on your off angle timing, and work on abusing your off angles as much as you possibly can without getting yourself demacked. Right? Every 10, 15, 100 damage that goes into you or gets eaten by you that's not put into your team when the fight is started, because you're baiting attention, is not going on your team. It's going on you, right? Okay. Chat, do you have any questions about this VOD? I know obviously the person in chat is not in here, but I think this is kind of a group VOD. Like, everybody was asking questions. Oh, Jumper, thanks for the sub, dude. How do you manage risk-taking going for hero plays? Are hero plays something you shouldn't do in scrims? No, hero plays are always something you should do in scrims. Hero plays are, we're down in people, and we're going to lose this fight if I don't clutch. Or, we are down in ults. We are going to need to win this fight. I need to clutch. I need to go for a hard flank. Right? Hero plays are basically whenever you're down in min or down in ults. But that's basically the only time you go for them. Okay. When they have Grab Blizzard, when can I bomb? When should I not bomb? I mean, it's up to you. If you think that they're not really in a position to get value out of Grab Blizzard, too far away, or your team is really well split, then sure, just go for a bomb. I mean, the answer to that question is probably something you can figure out on your own, honestly. If you sat and think about it for 2 seconds, you'd figure out the answer to that question. Just common sense. If they're up close and in front of your face, probably shouldn't bomb. If you lose your mech, you should probably bomb. It doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to eat it anyway. A word on how to alter your playstyle if you don't have a main tank. Play heavily for angles, more heavily than you normally do, most likely. I haven't really thought about non-main tank comps, but you have to think of off tanks as like being very weak, straightforward, but able to like put out a lot of damage in a lot of different areas. So if I was playing like Diva Zarya, I would just be like literally all like anywhere but the choke, basically. That would probably be my priority. What is the order of prioritization as Diva? That's an impossible question to answer. Depends entirely on the composition that you're running.